Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm trying a different spot here. I might move around for the different readings as well. I want to thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you to everybody that's shared and left comments or anything like that. I do interact with everybody that leaves a comment for the most part. Thank you for keeping it clean and respectful. I do the 13 zodiacs on my channel, okay? This is before they removed Ophiuchus and dropped it to the 12 and the 12 calendar and everything like that. So we got Gemini here. Happy birthday to all the Geminis out there. Happy belated if it's already passed. All right, got twins, lungs, Mercury, thyroid, quicksilver, hematite, alexandrite, Wednesday, and ruby. Now, what was it? A couple days ago, I was going to pick up Andy and I seen a coyote cross my path, just like casually crossing like a busy streetway. I am close around like countryside, and so I understand that they might just like randomly come in our city, but I wanted to find out the spiritual meaning. So this could have something that resonates with you. Take it or leave it. So coyote, the spiritual meaning is adaptability, intelligence, duality of life, guide for personal growth, spiritual insight, survival, flexibility, embrace of change, and finding ways to navigate challenge effectively. It's also a trickster spirit as well, the cleverness, and seen as the ability to think outside the box or use your wits. All right, so this may have a little bit of meaning to you. I'm on a rock right now. It's a flat rock, but it's also angled. So I'm gonna try to do this. I have no idea if this is gonna work. Hopefully you're staying cool out there. I think the next place I go to, I'm gonna find a bit of shade because it was cloud cover, but it's kind of breaking open the clouds. And so the sun's coming down and it's quite hot. All right, let's start off with Gemini. Let's see what we can get for you guys. Maybe you did something fun and exciting, went up to the cottage, or you went somewhere for your birthday. You went to an expensive restaurant or something like that. What can we get for Geminis? Ooh. Okay, we got 4 of clubs, working together with another person or another partner, or just working with people in general. This also is symbolic to me for the chakras, alignment of chakras, and also carrying your crown. Ability to fight when you need to, but also the ability to find peace within self and keep that peace. So the grounding, fruits of labor, and anything that you've worked really hard for. A lot of light has been shed on certain things or certain people or circumstances, and it looks like you and maybe another person have walked away from certain things that no longer serve you, which is good. And then we've got the 3 of Swords in the reverse. So no more heartbreak. I'm not seeing too much heartbreak. If you've gone through some sort of heartbreak, this is it coming to an end. I think you're starting to find things that are more suitable for you, or places or people. Like I said, you've purged what doesn't serve you anymore and you're moving forward. Success, health. Okay. We've got the 2 of Swords, the ability to speak the truth, also to cut down any negative energy or transmute it into positivity if need be. She's standing very proud. So whatever it is, maybe it's a line of work or a career or something like that that you really enjoy. Maybe you speak with the public or you deal with a lot of people out in the public. And your ability to command respect, or just the respect that you hold for yourself, is really important because other people see that. I don't know if they bow down to you, but the energy that you carry, you're able to walk into certain rooms and people notice, whether they're awake and aware or not, their energy or their higher self and lower self recognize your signature, which is really good to have, especially if you're going to be in a leadership position, or if you're going to be in some form or another that you guide people with your words, or you guide people with instruction. I almost see instruction. And she's got the tuft of her hair to one side than the other. And then we've got strength as well. Strength and courage, ability to go within, find that inner power, that hot spot, find that it's almost like a boost of energy that I'm getting here. So when you go within and you focus on your core, you get that boost of energy. It could be a really warm sensation throughout your entire body, but it starts from the midsection, so your abdomen. And ability to tame others too. So let's say you deal with a lot of people all at once. Let's say there's a couple people that are a little unruly, or maybe they just want to cause a little bit, or just like poke you and see what they can get out of you. You have an ability to turn that around and kind of befriend them, or keep them calm, keep them in a more balanced place, because your energy is so strong. A lot of people look for that when it comes to leadership, when it comes to certain positions. They want somebody that's going to be in that position that has no fear to approach others, that's not afraid of confrontation, that's not afraid to go above and beyond for what they believe in with good intention. And then we've got rabbits too, symbolize fertility, abundance, intuition, new beginnings. When I first started my journey, how I would get certain messages would be through what I was seeing visually here in the 3D. And one of the main symbolism that I got would be through rabbits. So if I seen a rabbit go across my path, or I decide to take a move on something, or make a decision, or go with the flow, so to speak, when I was doing it, I forget about everything else and I just focus on whatever it is that I was going towards. And I'd see a rabbit cross my path, or randomly one would just be like sitting close to me in proximity, and then I just happen to see it on my peripheral. I'm like, oh, a rabbit. And that to me gave me a sign that I was on the right path, doing the right thing. So I use these sort of signs and synchronicities, especially in my beginning stages, when I fully became aware to a lot of the things going on and utilized the gifts that I had. I use certain symbols and words, especially certain words would pop out, and I would use them as like almost like a notification, like ringing the bell or something like that, to let me know, hey, yeah, you're doing good, you're headed on the right path. Another one for me would have been rainbows as well, whether it be the ring around a light, or just a reflection of something and it shows like the rainbow in it, not necessarily like an oil slick or something, but just random things that would create a rainbow. And that to me gave me enough sign that I was doing the right thing, that I was on the right path. So abundance, intuition, new beginnings, spirit guides, opportunity and resources, luck, prosperity, growth, new possibilities, spiritual guardian, right? Some of us have animal guides as well that help us throughout this whole thing. If you're not aware of any of this stuff yet and you're just dabbling in it and you're starting to learn about it, I encourage you to do your research, look up for the meanings of different numbers or animals or anything like that that's helpful. Because honestly, reassurance, some of us didn't get that, and it's really important for our journey. So we have to be able to reassure ourselves by connecting to divine source and allowing the signs and synchronicities to come in, so we can do what we need to do and have a little bit of encouragement. So that would be your higher self that's encouraging you, okay? Nurturing creativity, smart, the ability to outsmart enemies, purity, innocence, gentleness, and almost like a Christ-like energy, and inspiration as well, okay? Those are the two. And I just recently added those to the deck of the ones that I made. I should be making more. It'd be nice to get like less long cards so it's easier for me to shuffle, but it's kind of similar to these for the length and width. Okay, what can we get for the Four of Cups energy? What's this working with who? Five of Cups in the reverse. Whatever it is that you are working on right now, or whoever you're working with, this is a person that's allowing you to be yourself, allowing you to have your space and give you what you need. Somebody that encourages you to follow your own pathway, not just their own, but yours as well. Somebody that's not going to be holding you back. There may be a little bit of insecurity at the beginning, but overcoming this Three of Swords energy, being able to communicate properly and having the fearless like nature, or that strength, is really important. The Five of Cups energy in the reverse is not being worried about what was lost, or what you had to leave behind, or who you had to leave behind, or maybe certain things that were material that you had to get rid of because they held so much negative energy, or they just held, I don't even want to say nostalgia, they held like a important significance to pain that you've already released and healed from, and you no longer want a reminder of that. So there's certain things that we've gotten rid of. Maybe you really liked a certain item, but it just wasn't for you, and you say it with good intention. The whole idea of um, feng shui, moving things around and understanding that energies exist even in items. And so when you want to release something, you have to do it with good intention. Even donating clothes or donating items, I release this item, it no longer serves me, thank you very much. And you release and let go and you move forward. Okay. I want to see if I can sit a different way. This is a little bit odd. So your situation could be a little bit strange right now. Maybe you're making the best of it. And it could be going better than you thought. There's a lot of things opening up. There could be opportunities for you to just be at peace, and you're not used to that. Maybe you were used to chaos in the past, and you're allowing yourself to have that kind of transition into a new state of being, into a new life, into a new version of yourself, which takes a lot of strength. It takes a lot of courage to be able to do that, because some people get comfortable in their old way of being, and sometimes they may slide a little bit back into what they used to use as a comfort or as a crutch. And I don't feel like you plan on doing that. Maybe there's occasional moments, but it feels more like a movement forward and letting old things go, letting the past go. What else we got here? Judgment in the reverse. Okay. So your ability to stop being so hard, not just on yourself, but other people too. Because you're having a better understanding of yourself, you're having a better understanding of the way things are working, and the whole release and let go, it's allowing you to not be so much in judgment of others, which is allowing you to be easier on yourself too. Because when you put that energy of judgment on others, like let's say somebody's appearance, or somebody, the way they do things, or how they're living their life. I know in my past I used to be a little bit, I wouldn't say too judgmental. It's more like I wouldn't do that, or I wouldn't be saying that, and that was in itself still judgment. That was still me making a judgment on somebody else and how they're living their life, even though I wasn't cutting them up for it, and I'm not like tearing down their character, and I'm not like those kind of bullies that pick on on a person constantly and try to tear them down. This is more, this was more of a judgment of like, oh, I see a person's potential, I see what they really can do or how good they can be, and there's no reason for them to do that, so I wouldn't do that. Why should they be doing that, sort of thing. And I really needed to release and let that go, because people are free to live their lives as they choose. They don't have to do things the way you do it. Nobody has to do things the way I do things. And you're free to choose how you're going to live your life. But it is important to know that there's a lot of room for growth, a lot of room for healing, and a lot of room for purging things so that new things can come into you, including a new beginning. All right? That possibility there. So you could be seeing rabbits or coyotes. Another one that I brought up too was, what was it? Turkey vultures. Around my area where I live, especially when I'm high vibrational, I'll see a lot of turkey vultures in the sky. And these are big fuckers. Like, they are, my arm span is nothing compared to their wingspan. But I never knew what the symbolic meaning behind it was, what the spiritual meaning was. So I looked it up, and it's transformation, renewal, cycles in life, release old habits, embrace new beginnings, spiritual elevation, rise above the mundane. So your everyday things that you're living through, the cycles here in the 3D. Divine connection, personal growth, life and death. Okay, again with the cycles, resilience, purification, and it's seen as a guide to carry prayers as well, which I didn't know that. A lot of the birds carry messages back and forth, just as they carry seeds, which is information. Okay, and same with the bees when they carry pollen, which is also information. Intentions to afterlife. That's a full sentence. Hold on a second. Seen as guides to carry prayers and intentions to the afterlife, all right? Release of emotional burdens, growth, and renewal. So I should probably put in my journal. I have one for flowers and the meanings. I have one for the medicinal benefits for any kind of herbs or flowers and stuff like that. And I think what I'm going to do is start adding in the journals that I have. I'll dedicate a couple pages to animals and animal guides and their spiritual meaning, because it helps. I think it does help a lot of people. So if you want to do that, you can look into it. I know it helped me at the beginning of my journey. I know everybody's journey is a little bit different, and it's going to cater to whatever it is that you're doing in your life. It's going to benefit you in ways you never imagined when you start following and listening to your intuition. And it's almost like a warrior type energy that I'm getting here for you, Gemini. All right, positive, very positive. What else can we get here? What's this judgment in reverse? Get a little bit of clarity on that. Knight of Cups. This is past love energy. Maybe this is somebody that wanted to offer you love, but they're still in the reverse. So maybe they had some healing to do. You and them could have went on a separate journey, and you could have met somebody different, or maybe you're just single, self-sufficient, independent. This person struggled with their ability to speak, so their ability to communicate. This person really did want to offer. They're in a Knight of energy. But this person had a lot of judgments as well. You could have taken on a lot of energy of this, or maybe you felt like you were being judged by everybody around you because you were in this person's presence. This person wasn't able to speak for themselves, let alone stand up for you, or even, you know, do the right thing when it comes to speaking. So they could have been the like polar opposite of you. This is past energy. Maybe they're no longer in judgment. Take it as it resonates. Maybe they're having some regrets, or they're pulling on your energy. They could be sending you messages or telepathically trying to communicate with you, whether or not they realize they're doing it. And they may want to say certain things. Ultimately, it's not up to you. If a person's going to make a decision, let's say they want to write you a letter or they want to communicate with you, it's up to you whether or not you want to allow them back in. If this is somebody that you walked away from, this Three of Swords energy, then you get to choose. You get to choose who's in your bubble. You get to choose who gets to share your energy. You get to choose the duality of it, honestly, because there's good and bad parts to everything. And sometimes people come into our lives and they trigger a change, whether it be twin flames or I don't know if you believe in the whole idea of soulmates and everything like that. Sometimes people come into our lives and yeah, they may be such, but they were there to teach a lesson. Sometimes you're meant to grow together. This could be this Four of Cups energy, or work together with other people. And other times, other people that come and go in your life, that doesn't feel like this person's in your life right now. It seems like they really did try, but maybe they had a hard time to speak their emotions and how they truly felt inside, which can you imagine, like, if you're not somebody that does that, can you imagine how it feels to have all these emotions and want to speak it out but not be able to do so? And I really do feel for people that go through that sort of thing. I'm kind of like a no filter. I'll speak my truth. I'll say what I need to say, and then I'll move on with my life. And yes, I do care if I hurt people's feelings, but that's not my main goal, and my intention is never to hurt people's feelings. When I speak the truth about something, I want them to understand that I understand what they're going through in a sense. I acknowledge it, but I'm not going to carry it. And sometimes people get upset with that. So that's a Two of Swords energy. All right. Let's see, what else can we get here? Let's get some Island Time Wellness cards. Actually, no. Let's do Past Life Oracle card. What are the... You have the support you need, whether this be spiritual or in the physical. Past Life Oracle card. What's the cycle? What is this cycle, this pulling energy? Spouse in the reverse. This could be somebody that was supposed to be your spouse and go with you on your spiritual journey, but they may not have learned the lessons that they needed to because of the healing that they needed to do. They could still feel like there's an opportunity or a chance to get back in your life and maybe be with you, or maybe they are having thoughts about it, or it's like wish fulfillment. That's what they truly want. It feels like nobody compares to you, Gemini. Nobody has been, because she's veiled. She's got this cover over. So far, this person hasn't seen or met anybody that's even close or similar to you, but we're all different. We should all be our authentic self. We shouldn't want to be like cookie cutter or be the same as everybody else. This person may have access to a lot of resources, but just because they have resources doesn't mean that they're content. This person could also have access to a lot of other people, or maybe opportunities to be with a spouse or to be with another person, but it doesn't look like they're choosing to do so. This is definitely a cycle. You could have broken that cycle by walking away from this Three of Swords energy and doing your own thing. I think you spoke what you needed to, you said what you needed to, and you were peaceful about it, and you walked away. It takes a lot of strength to do that, guys. It does. It takes a lot of strength to be able to, as much as it hurts, excuse me, my throat chakra, as much as it hurts inside, it takes a lot to muster up the courage and be like, I know this isn't for me, and as much as it's going to hurt, I need to walk away from this because it doesn't suit me. And by doing that, you break the cycle. Maybe your past ancestors weren't able to do that. Holy lessons and blessings. Okay? It really is true. Sometimes people come into our life, they teach us lessons, and then we've got to go on our own separate ways. Gemini also is twins. This could have been twin flame energy, or somebody that was meant to literally do that, teach you a lesson. This person's name could have been Alex, or have Alexander. The arts. You followed your intuition that led you to do what you needed to do for yourself. You listen to the different chords, the different notes. So music could be really helpful spiritually to you. It could unlock certain things in your cognitive mind, certain pathways when you listen to certain notes. Each note has a different color. Each note has a vibrational frequency. There are notes that are very healing. There are notes that are allowing us to tap into certain things. So maybe A major, A minor, or something like that. This could be symbolic for you. This could be what the other person does too, but this feels more like your energy, because whatever it was that you left behind, you could have used music to heal yourself, because it does. It really does help. Okay, and then we have health here. You focused on what you needed to do for yourself. You kept moving forward. Maybe you cut out certain habits or certain things that weren't good for you, and you move forward from that. Oh, old habits die hard, don't they? Allowed personal growth, allowed new things to come in for you. This person could be also trying to reach out to you through items too, stuff that reminds you of them. And maybe you're not even thinking of them. You could be out doing your own thing or having fun for the day, or maybe even during your birthday or something, and this person was reminded of you or has been thinking about you, and then you see certain items that remind you of them, or a certain song or something like that comes on, and then they've been trying to reach out to reconnect. I don't know if you're interested in that, Gemini, but that's completely up to you. What else can we get for Gemini? It's really beautiful out here, but I need to find shade. Maybe this person likes to stay in the dark a bit, or you would like to stay in the dark when it comes to sharing what's going on in your life. You don't want to share everything with the people in your past. Perfect. Finished. Complete. Fully informed. Completely skilled. Faultless in grammar, denoting a tense which expresses an act of being completed. To accomplish, to make perfect, to make fully skillful. So I do believe you've learned a lot so far up to this very point. Ruby could be significant. Maybe you want to wear ruby on you. Keep in mind that certain crystals and certain gemstones and stuff, they have interactions because they're vibrational as well with other stones or gemstones and other crystals too. So when you are wearing certain things, make sure that they don't clash. I don't know why I want to say that. I came out of nowhere. Make sure that they don't clash because certain things go well with others. Certain people go well with others and certain people do not. All right? I do believe you've learned your lessons over time. I do believe that things seem to be speeding up a little bit for you. I see like the whole idea of a stopwatch too. You could be timing yourself, or maybe you're setting a timer for something. I don't know if you want to maybe start a family, because in this picture here with the 4 of clubs, you see 2 getting together, but there's no children in the picture. So I don't know if that gives you more freedom, maybe empty nest syndrome, or maybe you want to start a family. Your health, you seem to be in good health. You seem to be in good health. You seem to be in good health, and if you have a partner, they seem to be a good match for you. So if you wanted to work together on something, whether it be the arts or work together in starting a family, you could. What else can we get here? Decrease, to grow less. Okay, so to cause or become less. Gradual diminishing. Decay, the wane of the moon. Okay, you could be going with the cycles as well. If you're looking to start a family, a lot of women sync up to the cycles of the moon. There are meanings for both. There's waning and waxing. There's new moon and full moon. To grow less, you could, like I said, the family, the children could have left. So maybe that's opening up more opportunities to do the arts and what you need to do. More opportunities to kind of maybe take care of whatever business you have if you are that leadership position. Or maybe you plan on getting married, starting a new family. Just because you start a new family doesn't mean that you need to have children. All right, decrease. This could be purging as well when you're letting go of certain things. You've been nurturing yourself. And as far as I can see, if somebody's in the picture, if you're single right now, don't worry about it. You're nurturing yourself. There's that balance of duality, okay? Use your intuition too. Island time wellness. What can we get for Gemini? Ooh. Lightning, sudden change, shocking news, surprise, epiphany, upheaval, and transformation. I do believe you're going through a transformation, aren't we all? You could have had that epiphany when you walked away from this other person or this other situation that didn't serve you. The news that you got could have been through your spiritual guides, through any kind of signs and synchronicities, or this could be physical news that you got via mail, email, text. And the sudden change, a lot of times when we have that tower moment, I'm not seeing the tower card, but when you get the tower moment energy, it is for change. It is kind of like an upheaval. It's like completely moving everything that you had in place and allowing for new stuff to come in the space. Okay? Dragonfly, be lighthearted. I'm seeing a lot of dragonflies lately too. That I didn't write down. Be lighthearted, finding out things coming to light, adapt, change, and heal. So I do believe you're focusing on yourself. You're doing the best that you can for you. And there's nothing wrong with that. Can we get a little bit more of the... What's the spouse energy? Obvious. So whoever you're with right now, it's very obvious and clear that they're a good choice for you. Easily discovered, seen, understood, evident, and manifest. This could have been a person that you've manifested. You may understand each other very well, and it could be quite evident that this is the person that you want to be with, okay? The person that was in your past may have been a good match had they done their healing. But since they didn't do their shadow work, or maybe they didn't want to, they had some struggle with their throat chakra or their root chakra, which would be like their purpose. It really clashed with your energy. Okay? It's like two complete opposites. Sometimes opposites attract, yes, but we're still responsible for doing our own shadow work and doing our healing. And we can do it together. We don't have to be codependent on each other or do the what do you call that? Trauma bonding or anything like that. But it's important that we all learn our own lessons to move forward. And if a person's not willing to do that, well, they made their choice, and so be it, right? You keep moving forward. You can get a bit of these, and then we'll do the runes. What else can we get for Gemini? Ask your inner child one question, answer honestly. I love this card. You should be able to ask your inner child anything, because it's just between you and them, whatever little boy or little girl is inside there, okay? Without being judgmental. What is your body telling you? Do the research, find out the spiritual meaning behind the physical manifestation. That's part of this health cycle here. I think you're figuring that out. If not, you've already mastered that part. Use it wisely, okay? And then we have talking to others for understanding rather than unloading. Shows true character of yourself. Communication is key and can set you free. This Knight of Cups in the reverse. Maybe they're used to people dumping on them, but when it comes to them speaking out their own truth, they have a hard time doing so, which is odd if you ask me, because they would have a great understanding of how the human mind works. They'd be very intelligent, yet they struggle with communicating their own feelings, emotions, and stuff like that. They're in their feels. This person could really be missing you, okay? You have the ability to talk to others, and you have the ability to understand them without strict judgment, without understanding, right? And rather than unloading just on them all your burdens, you are able to face certain things. You have that strength inside, okay? I think that's pretty clear. Fertility is up there too with the rabbit. So if you're seeing rabbits a lot too and you're trying to start a family, you could be on the right path. All right, and let's get 4 rooms here. Definitely got to find a spot with shade, because it's hot with a nice breeze. I'll manifest the shit out of that right now. Okay, we've got Feihu. Wealth, honesty, possessions, luck, happiness, and abundance. This other person could have been possessed with something. Letter F, and then we've got the solar plexus and the third eye chakra. These are things that you need to activate, or you're already currently activated in. They're unlocked. You got the moon energy for things that are unseen. There's a hair there. Attention to detail. Okay, Isis. Fear, standstill, stasis, block, challenge, patience, reflect, rest, and test. I do think you've learned quite a bit of lessons here. I think you've done the reflection, and it seems like you're having patience with yourself. But this was a bit of a test for you, because if somebody's pulling on your energy from the past, it's going to have an impact on you if you let it. Letter I, heart chakra, root chakra, and sacral. And then we have Wunjo. Joy, ecstasy, success, fellowship, peace, pleasure, glory, comfort, serenity. VNW, heart chakra, and solar plexus. A lot of that. Okay, remember to love you. Please do.